Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unit 3 lesson on rhythmic dictation. For this unit, we are going to get started with two-part dictation. So we're going to take it nice and easy at first, and then we'll ramp it up relatively quickly. Okay, so let's get started. For this lesson, we are going to be in Aurelia. So it's the easiest way to show you how to do the dictation. So we'll do a little bit of Aurelia, and then I'll also have my trusty whiteboard on hand. So I'll show you how to do stuff, and then we'll do some practice in Aurelia. So the trick to any two-part dictation is to be able to separate the voices out in your ears. It's a little bit tricky, but with some practice, you can get good at distinguishing the different sounds. Now we're going to start with percussive rhythms. So they're two distinct noises without a lot of overtones or two distinct sounds without a lot of overtones. And you'll be able to get used to hearing the two things slowly before you jump into doing all of it. Okay, so let's jump on over to Aurelia and take a look. For here, you'll see that I have the practice exercise bit set up, and we are going to do the two-part rhythmic dictation. And you'll see these different levels. So we're going to start really easy. So quarter notes, one part at a time. It's going to play two parts, and you're only going to have to do one part. It's going to be 3/4 or 4/4 and 4 bars in length. So how I'm going to do this, I am going to read the instructions and set up my paper, and you should be setting up your paper also. So for this, since we only have one part, you only need to worry about marking something out for one part at a time. Okay, so I made a couple lines, and then what I'm going to do is, since we don't know if it's 3/4 or 2/4, I'm just going to mark out 4 bars. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit start, and then I'm going to hit pause right away so that I can get myself set up, and then I'm going to back it up and take another listening. Now, when you actually get to the assignment, you'll be able to pause, and I'll give you like an extra listening so you can take a look at everything, get set up, and then start. Okay, so let's hit start, pause, back it up to the beginning. Okay, so it's in 4/4. So I'm going to set, it's only quarter notes. So you should be setting up 4 vertical lines per measure. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. All right, so we have 4/4, tambourine, and clave. I think all of these are tambourine and clave. And we're hearing the clave and the tambourine, but we already know what the clave has. Okay, so I'm going to try and do this with you being able to watch what I'm doing. We'll see how this works. Okay. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to check my work. You try and do it now on your paper. So get yourself set up and then pause, get yourself set up, and then come back. And let's do another listening. Okay, and it might be helpful for you to still be counting out loud while you do this. Okay, so grab another listening if you need to. You can back up the video. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have with our rhythmic marks, and I'll interpret them, and then we will enter it into Aurelia. So half note, no line, line, a line, 2/4. And we have a line in every beat except for the last one. So that's 2/4 and a half. And then we have line, no line, no line. So it's 2 halves. And then we have a line in every beat, so that's 4 quarters. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that into Aurelia. There we go. And then you can listen to it if you want, right? You can just hover and listen. Okay, so let's try and bump ahead. I'm actually going to go skip way ahead. You should not do this. You should go part by part. But I'm going to skip ahead to the end where we have 2 parts, melodic melodies with possibly with an anacrusis, so a pickup. Okay, so we're only worrying about the rhythm. We don't, even though it's melodic, we don't have to worry about the melody, right? So I'm going to go ahead and set up 2 percussion staves. I'll show you what this looks like in just a minute. Okay, so that's what I have. And then I'm going to put, for 2-part dictation, you want 2 sets of rhythm lines. Now, we don't know if we have 3, 4, or 4, 4. So let's actually hit start and then we'll see what we have and then we'll finish the setup. Okay, so we have a pickup in 4, 4 and then 4 measures. So you'll see, so what I'm doing, and you should do this as well, is I have the pickup measure and then 4. And then what I like to do, you could put the second line, you could put here, or you could put it below. I like to put it below because I think it keeps everything a little bit more separated. Okay, so go ahead and pause and set up your paper. Now what we're gonna do, so we have flute and cello. I'm gonna take the rhythm for the flute first. So just knowing that. Okay, so I've got that set up. Now we also have 8th notes, so I'm gonna go ahead and set up an 8th note mark, a little 8th note mark as a subdivision. Okay, so you're gonna end up with something that looks like this. Okay, and let's give it a shot just for the flute. So I'm gonna listen for the flute and just kind of try to ignore the cello. It could take a couple listenings. Okay, I think I've got it, but let's take another listening. So you should be taking this down as well. Okay, so you'll see I now have my rhythmic mark for the first half of it. I'm going to go ahead and mark those in. So take some time to interpret it on your paper and then write it in. But I'm going to go ahead and go straight in here. 4 quarters, and then I've got 2 quarters and a half. Then I have 4/8 and a quarter, 2/8, a quarter, quarter and a half. Okay, let's listen for the cello this time. Okay, and what I'm doing, I'm counting out loud, and that's really helping a lot. So count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and go ahead and count in with the click. 2 and 3 and. Pause if you need to. Let's take another listening. Okay, good. So I'm going to go ahead and interpret what I have written down. So we start with a quarter note. Then we have a dotted quarter, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, sorry. And then another dotted quarter. And an 1/8, quarter, and then another dotted quarter, like lots of dotted quarters in this little melody. And 5/8, just like the first measure. And then we have quarter, 2/8, and a half. Okay, let's see if we got it right. There we go. And it gives you the full melody. Okay, so that's it. So jump in, do some practice. Now, this is an acquired skill. So take your time getting through the practice exercises, and melodic dictation, when you get to the 2-part melodic dictation, will go so much easier. Okay, that's it. I will see you guys in the next lesson. Bye.